some progressives are giving him a pass on his Reaganomics. His Reaganomics that is magnitudes of order different. Listen, okay, because everyone wants to say, well, Hillary Clinton, and yeah, please stop with the false equivalencies, right? Everyone's saying, well, Hillary Clinton's a neoliberal. Yes, Hillary Clinton is a neoliberal, but Donald Trump's tax policy plan, and I'll just give you the numbers. This is from the Tax Policy Center. These are people, these are our okay, you know, you can, whatever you think about their sources, they're pretty accurate. So here's Donald Trump, their measurement of Donald Trump's tax policy. His tax policy will significantly reduce. I'm reading from taxpolicycenter.org. His tax reforms would significantly reduce marginal tax rates for both individuals and businesses, increase standard deduction amounts, et cetera, et cetera. This is the part. The Tax Policy Center estimates that the proposal will reduce federal revenue by $9.5 trillion over its first decade, an additional $15 trillion over the subsequent 10 years. So Donald Trump's policy now, and who's getting these tax breaks? Because the first thing you're going to say is, oh, well, if I'm getting a tax break, it's good for me. Who's getting the tax break? The top 0.1% of taxpayers, those with incomes of over 3.7 million, will see approximately $1.3 million of a tax cut, or nearly 19% of their after-tax income. As for everyone else, who middle-income households who will receive an average of $2,700 or 4.9% of your after-tax income. So you're like, oh, well, you know, he's going to cut taxes for us, so that's economic populism. No, he's cutting taxes and is overwhelmingly going to benefit the top 0.1%, his tax bracket, while the rest of us will see some change. We'll see some pennies. We'll see $2,700, which today might last you a week after you pay rent. As compared to Hillary Clinton's tax policy, the same output, that same outfit, taxpolicycenter.org, saying that her proposal will increase revenues by $1.1 trillion over the next decade. Nearly all of the tax increases would fall on the top 1%. The bottom 95% of taxpayers would see little to no change in their taxes. Now, for everyone who's going to say, but Ben, Hillary Clinton is just the same, I have just laid it out for you right there, that on economic trickle-down economic policies, Donald Trump is going to cost the federal government $9.5 trillion. And then over the next 20 years, he's going to cost us $15 trillion. So $9 trillion over 10 years, an additional $15 trillion over the next 10 years more. And that's overwhelmingly going to the top, not 1%, but 0.1%. While Hillary Clinton's tax policy is going to raise revenues, which means there will be money there for the infrastructure. There will be money there for research and development. And the revenues that she's raising, although it's not enough, although she should do more, right? Bernie Sanders went a little bit further and did more in terms of tax revenues. But her revenues is going to bring in $1.1 trillion. Do not tell me. Actually, no, I want you to call in and tell me that you think that a deficit of about, what's that? So it's $24.5 trillion over the next 10 years is equivalent to an increase of $1.1 trillion over the next 10 years. 857-600-0518. It's important that we recognize that there is still a major battlefront that we have to address, and it is economic and tax policy. And Donald Trump has demonstrated that on taxes, he is your standard fair Republican.